Good morning everybody. Today we are going to study the second part of the fourth chapter, that is exogenetic process part 2. In our first session we have seen the erosion, meaning of erosion. We have seen the various agents of erosion. Now we are studying step by step the work of each and every agents of erosion. In our last session we have seen the work of the river, means how the erosion take place, and we have seen in that transportational and depositional work of the river. We have seen the erosion of the rivers, which water bodies are formed, which landforms are created. So here canons and the meandering river, these are the landforms prepared. So first we will talk about the figures. Here try to understand the formation of landform like gorges. What is the meaning of gorges? It is a deep and narrow valley. The slope of gorges are steep and almost vertical, so that is called gorge. Now next is given V-shaped valley. Now see, here we are having the picture of V-shaped valley and I will explain, you try to understand. So this is the picture of V-shaped valley and it is produced because of erosional work of river. A V-shaped river valley is formed near the origin of the river or in its upper course. So vertical erosion, can you see both sides of that valley? You can see the vertical erosion. So it occurs rapidly near the river, and the headwater erosion is lesser. Headwater erosion means inside, say the river which is collecting water from the area, that is called the headwater. So the headwater, there we can find less erosion, and therefore the elevation is higher, but the riverbed starts deepening. Can you see here? Riverbed, it starts deepening and it gets shape of the alphabet V, so that's why it is called V-shaped valley. I hope you understood this. Now we will study the next geographical concept, that is alluvial fans. What are the alluvial fans? Here picture is given of alluvial fan. You can see here one river. That river means a small crack has formed and there deposition took place. So see here, when a river enters the plain area after crossing the mountainous area, then what will happen? Its speed reduce. Then the sediment which is brought by the river that get deposited at the riverbed, and it is look like a fan. Can you see the shape? So that's why it is called alluvial fan, because here alluvial soil which is brought by the river, that is deposited. So we can find such alluvial fans in semi-arid regions and foothill of the Himalayas, etc. Now we will speak about the next, that is meanders. Meanders are formed because, see, when the river is flowing, that time some obstacles are coming in front of the that river, means the river flow. That time river flow changes its direction, and such type of landforms are formed. So here inside sediment is there, so water is flowing by crossing that, means besides that. So in this way meanders are formed, means the river is changing its direction and moving due to that obstacles. Now we will talk about the next one, what is given here, floodlius and floodplain. So we are having the picture of floodlius and floodplain. What is that? That also we will study. So see, this is the picture of the river, and beside the river we can see some images given. Trees are given and here plain region is shown. So what is that? We'll see. So this landform is formed or produced due to work of river, depositional work of river. So when the level of the water in the river channel increases, it overflows and water spread to nearby areas. This is called flooding. When the river is flooding, a large amount of sediment comes out with the flow. Heavy sediments are found towards the bottom of the river, heavy, while suspended particles, light particles, are scattered all over. Suspended sediments get deposited to the places where the flood water reaches perpendicular to the flow of the river. This region is called floodplain. We can see the picture here. Like that, plain regions are formed. This is called floodplain. That floodplains are very fertile land, good for the agriculture. Now we will talk about the flood lues. The coarse sediment, we can see here both sides of the river bank. So that carried by the flood water get deposited at the banks as continuous process of deposition occurs at the bank. Its level increases. Lues parallel to the river flow are formed close to the bank. These are called flood lues. So this deposition process at the bank, that is continuous, and the level is increasing. So due to that, flood lues are formed. Now we will discuss about the next, what is given here, delta. So what is the meaning of the delta? Delta means what? Due to the depositional work of the river as at the mouth of the river, and the landform is formed. So see, in the lower course of the river, we can see the flow of the river is very slow, but the volume of the water has increased, and sediments brought with the flow get deposited in the river bed itself, and the flow of the river get divided into many channels. These are known as the barrier channels. Latter, where the river meets the sea, you can see in front of that, sea is there, that river is meeting to the sea. There the sea waves somewhat oppose the river flow, and therefore the large amount of deposition of the sediment occurs. Many channels form out of the main river. So it is the main river, and due to that main river, the sea waves opposed to that, and then deposition took place. That these all the means from the main river, many distributaries are formed. Means the water of that main river is divided. See, it is the main river, one long river is coming up from here, the river is coming, but here at this center, at this position, the river's water is डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग. देखिए यहाँ तक एक सीधी रिवर आ रही है, और यहाँ आकर उस रिवर का पानी अलग अलग जगहों से समुद्र में इंडिपेंडेंटली जा रहा है. सो दैट इज़ कॉल्ड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरी. एंड ट्रिब्यूटरी मीन्स व्हाट? द मेन रिवर एंड स्मॉल रिवर्स आर एडिंग इट्स वाटर टू द मेन रिवर. मेन रिवर में छोटे छोटे झरने, छोटे छोटे नदियाँ अपना पानी जमा कर देना, उसको कहते हैं ट्रिब्यूटरीज. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरीज फ्रॉम द मेन रिवर, द रिवर्स आर depositing the water, distributing the water, not depositing, distributing to the water. So that is called distributed. That's why distributed is here called. So these distributaries, they meet the sea independently. So then afterwards we can see here the seaward side is broader. Can you see here? Seaward side is broader and landward side is taper. देखिए यहाँ पर seaward side is broader. इस ये एरिया यहाँ पर broader है और यहाँ पर taper है. taper मतलब क्या? Closing means looking like. So that's why it is looking like a triangle shape. So therefore it is called as delta. Can you see, children? Delta. So that's why here this is called delta. I hope now you understood what is the meaning of the delta. Now we have to do the one activity. What is the activity? We have to see some pictures of various landforms formed by the river are given. See them and write the type of work done by the river in the formation of these landforms in those boxes. So first two pictures are given here upside. Canyons. that is because of the erosional work. Number 2, meander, that is depositional and transportational work. Now next is given V-shaped valley. V-shaped valley is because of erosional work of the river. Next is given delta. Delta because of transportational and depositional work. Alluvial fans. This alluvial fan is because of depositional and transportational work. And last is given here flood leaves and flood plains. That is also because of depositional and transportational work of river. Now we will study about the work of the glacier and landforms. Now river's work is over. Now glacier. In regions where the temperature are generally below freezing point, means in the minus, where the temperature is in minus freezing point, precipitation is in the form of snowfall. So we are having the precipitation in the form of rain, means water form, but there snowfall in the form of snow. Layers of snow accumulate on the earth's surface because of snowfall. The heavy weight of these overlaying layers make the snow makes the snow move along the slope. At the base of the layer, the snow starts melting because of the friction and pressure from the above. Glacier starts moving slowly along the slope. See children, what is said in this paragraph. Here it is said that in the areas where the temperature is very less, means at the freezing point, below freezing point, there precipitation takes place in the form of snowfall. So the layers of snow accumulate, it spread on the surface of the earth. So as the snow is falling, layer after layer it deposits. Then what will happen? The snow, the layers, due to that much layers, the snow will be, the weight will be very heavy, and due to the heavy weight of the layers, the snow will start to move slowly along the slope side, and due to that process, at the base of that glacier, snow starts melting. When the melting process starts, that time what will happen? The glacier also starts moving slowly along the slope. Like a river, glacier too carries out the work of erosion, transportation and deposition. Now we have to study how the glacier will do the work of the depositional and erosion, that we'll see. Erosion work by glacier. Though the velocity is less, velocity means what? Speed in a given direction. So a mass of the ice is more, and hence glacier erodes its own bank and its bed on large scale. So as the mass is more and velocity is less, speed is less, so due to that the glacier erode its own bank and its own beds. The erosional work of glacier produce landform like. So now we have to study the landform. In what river we have seen V-shaped valleys form. We have seen due to that this meander, again delta, alluvial fans are formed. But due to the erosional work of the glacier, which landforms are formed? First is given here cirque. Next is given here arêtes, then horns, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, and roche mountains. So these are the landforms formed because of the work of the erosional work of the glacier. Now what is that? Now we will study. First here is given cirque. What is the meaning of the cirque and horn? That we will see first. See, that is the mountain, means glacier. In the mountain, the glacier is accumulated, many layers of the snow that has accumulated, and due to the heavy snowfall, see this, like this shape is formed. Now how that, what are the cirque, we'll see. After snowfall, the snow doesn't start flowing immediately like water. It gets deposited. It deposits more at the base and get and then than the slope. It deposits more at the base than the slope, children. When many layers of the snow get deposited, as we have studied just now, then what will happen? The friction will take place, and due to that, at the bottom, the ice will turn into the water, and water start flowing, moving toward the downward side. Same with the ice also. The ice will also start to move slowly. Moving ice get deposited at the foothill. So see children, you can see here the image at the foothill, the snow has deposited. Then what will happen? See, the ice is deposited at the foothill. Weathering by the melted water leads to deepening basal portion. कैन यू सी हियर बेसल पोर्शन? आप देख रहे हैं ना, ये जो बीच वाला हिस्सा है वो डीपनिंग होते जा रहा है, मतलब अंदर अंदर धंसते जा रहा है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर वेदरिंग प्रोसेस चालू हो गया है. सच डीपनिंग पोर्शन ऑफ द बेस ऑफ द स्लोप्स आर कॉल्ड सर्क्स. I hope you understood this. And here upside, horn, that at the tip of that mountain, horn like shapes are formed, that's why that name is given, horns there. Now we will see the another, what is given, hanging valley. What is the meaning of the hanging valley, that we will study. So where is the picture of hanging valley? First we will see and we will discuss this afterwards. Here is the hanging valley. What is this? U-shaped valley. That also we have to see. Okay, we will see first how the V-shaped valley is formed. Just like that, U-shaped valley is formed. That we will discuss afterwards. First we will study the hanging valley. What is the hanging valley? So children, this type of hanging valley, it is because of the erosional work of the glacier. How? See, the amount of the snow in a tributary glacier is less compared to the main glacier. जैसे main glacier में amount ज़्यादा होता है and in the tributary it is less. Then what will happen? In the main glacier, snow is accumulated to full height in its bed. When the main and the tributary glacier meets, the height of the snow is the same rather than the height of their beds. The bottom of the main glacier, so see, the bottom of the tributary glacier is higher level than the bottom of the main glacier. When snow melt, the difference in height of their bases becomes visible. If you want to say very in the simple definition, then we can say what is the meaning of hanging valley. So just a minute. Hanging valley means, so landform which is produced by the glacier, and see, due to the valley of the tributary glacier is higher and appears like hanging over valley of that main glacier. Therefore such valley is called hanging valley. Now we will see what is the here transportation and deposition by the glacier. So see, the glacier carries sediment with them. These sediments are called morines. So the glacier that carry the sediment, so that sediment is called morines here. Now morines means deposited or sediments, you remember. Depending on the location of the deposits, morines can be divided into 4 types. So see, where the deposition is deposited, on that location 4 types are there of morines: ground morines, lateral morine, medial morine, and terminal morine. lateral moraine, medial moraine, ground moraine and terminal moraine. These are the 4 types. Observe the figure 4.2. Depositional work of the glacier produce landform like drumlin, scars, etc. So here see, here is this shown. The river is flowing, the flow of the river, then along with the river the glacier has deposited some sediment, so that is called moraine. First we will see here terminal moraine is there here, then in the middle sides medial moraine means middle side whatever deposition takes place, that is called medial moraine by the glacier. Next here both the banks, that is lateral moraine, both here at the corner of that or the bank of that glacier. So in this way moraine types it has decided as per the location, or it is depend on the locations where it has deposited. I hope you understood this. Now we will see the figures. Same we have made that. See, some pictures of the landform formed by the glacier are given below. Write in the boxes below the function because of which they have been formed. So first is given cirque and horn due to erosional work. Next is given of this U-shaped valley because of erosional work. Next lateral and medial moraine, that is because of depositional and transportational work. Next drumlins, you can see this type of landform is formed, that is also because of depositional and transportational work. Now roche mountainous, that is because of erosional work. See, erosion takes place here. Next is given here hanging valley is also because of erosional work. Next is given scars is also because of depositional and transportational work. See, transportational and depositional work, scars are formed. Where you can see the work by glaciers in India, we can see where is the snowfall in our country, in Jammu and Kashmir. So that region we can see glaciers. In which natural region can you see the work of the glacier at the sea level? See, Jammu and Kashmir, that is at the high altitude area, but here is at sea level. Sea level means near the polar areas. Can you see a glacier moving just as you can observe the movement of river water? Say children, have you seen? You think and talk about this. Think, what is your opinion? Now we will see the work of the wind and the landform produced by landforms produce. So now erosion, next agent of erosion, that is wind. Now we have to see the wind and it's due to the wind which landforms are produced. You have learnt earlier that the movement of the air is called wind. Wind is a gaseous agent of erosion. The erosional, transportational and depositional work of the wind is more prominent in desert and semi-arid region. So as we know that the moving air is called wind and the wind is a gaseous agent of the erosion. These work, erosional, transportational and depositional work, is more prominent in the areas where this desert area and the semi-arid regions. Why? That also we have to see here further. As mechanical weathering occur on large scale here. So see, what is the meaning of mechanical weathering we have seen in our earlier chapter. So in the this area, desert area, days are very hot and nights are very cold. So due to the expand and the contract, that process takes in the rock continuously. Daytime that is expanding, nighttime contract. So due to that, big cracks are formed in the rock and this erosion takes place. So that is called mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering occurs on large scale here. Powder rock and sand spreads over a large area. There is hardly any obstacle in the transportational work of the wind, because in the all plain area is there, no obstacle is there. So that's why the transportational work is going very fast, no obstacle is there. Sand particles also get transported along with the wind. They are carried over longer distance. So see what is said here, sand particles, as they are having sand particles small, so that's why they are carrying very long distance and get deposited where the speed of the wind reduce. So wind speed where it reduce, there all the sand particles deposited. In this way the wind does the work of erosion, transportation and deposition. So see that due to the work, the erosion take place, sand particle is moving and transporting, and then afterwards it depositing where the wind reduce its speed. Erosional work of wind. Wind carries small sand particles, small pebbles, etc. along with it. These particles cause erosion along rocks coming in the way due to friction. So when the wind is carrying with the wind, small sand particles and small pebbles also carrying, and that pebbles and small sand particles that dash to the stones or rocks which is coming in their way, and due to that friction, continuous friction means जब भी हवाएं जो आती है, विंड आता है, ये पेबल जाकर टकरा जाते हैं उस रॉक से, then what will happen, erosion will take place. Continuous the pebbles are coming and that dashing or attacking on that rock. So due to that rock friction take place, and this form the mushroom rocks, deflation, hollows and yard ducts, etc. See figure 4.3. First we will see here figure 4.3 where it is. See. So what is said, yard ducts, how it is prepared. See here the grey color that is showing the hard rock, and here black and white dot that is the soft rock. It gets affected on the soft rock first. So as the wind is coming, the pebbles are coming and pebbles attacks continuously dash to that region. So देखिए यहाँ पर soft rock कितना ज़्यादा portion में, the black line, and here due to continuous attack that erosion took place, and the soft rocks eroded and just very less remain in the both the sides, we can see here. And here upside also, see here you can see these two boundaries, and here see due to that attack of that, or due to the erosional work, means as with the wind the sand particles are coming, and due to this erosion take place on the soft rock, it affect the soft rock more. Now we will see the mushroom. So see mushroom rock, because of the continuous attack is not good word, but with the wind, when the wind is flowing, that time sand particles, dust, again not dust but small pebbles, small rocks are coming, and continuously it heat to this area, and by the continuous heating that rock is worn away, and due to that, like that mushroom shape found due to the erosion. See, like that much rock is worn away with the wind. So this mushroom type of landform is formed. Then sand dunes are formed. Sand dunes means what? When the wind is flowing, the wind is carry these sand particles, and when the wind reduces speed, all the sand, that sand is also on the large number, huge quantity, all the sand deposited at one place. So like that small mountain of sand has formed, so it is called sand dunes, and this is ripple marks. So you can see on the sand, due to the wind, like that marks are formed, that is called. So due to the wind, जब हवाएं बहती है, so that erosion take place, and these ripple marks are formed. Now remaining, so now here it is over. Now first this work, that 4.3 we have seen. Now depositional work of wind that we will see. Sand particles that blow with the wind are the different shape and size. Those particles which are very fine are carried over larger distance, with while the larger one get deposited at the shorter distance only. So see, wind is carrying the sand particles. The sand particle which is fine means what? In the small size, medium size, so they are carried over large distance. But the sand particles which is larger, that cannot carry the larger distance, but shorter distance they transported. These sand particles get deposited in the desert and semi-arid climates. As a result, specific landforms are formed. We have seen sand dunes, sieves, ripple marks, loess plains, etc. are formed by wind deposition. So about this all we will study detailed explanation in our next session. Thank you very much.